Kimberly Kessler was born on May 9, 1968 in Butler, Pennsylvania, where she spent her childhood. In 2004, at age 35, she inexplicably left Pennsylvania, telling family members she was heading south. She took off and later assumed the identity of a 13-year-old girl who died in a car crash in Germany in 1987 and was buried in a Butler, Pennsylvania cemetery. The name was later confirmed as Jennifer Marie Sybert. However, it wasn't until 2012 that her family reported her missing after not hearing from her for several days. During this time, Kimberly traveled extensively across many American states, taking various jobs and adopting several aliases. Authorities briefly investigated her disappearance, but soon realized she was someone who didn't want to be found. Now, before we begin, we'd just like to say a few words about Aura. We know that the world is a scary place. We've shown you enough spooky, supernatural, and downright creepy things on this channel to be aware of it. But sometimes Googling yourself can be the scariest thing of all. If you've ever done this, you might well be shocked to see your personal details plastered on the public site, just ready to be sold to the highest bidder. It's weird to see your data on there, but it's worse when you realise that people are making money off selling your data to all sorts of people. Luckily, today's sponsor Aura can help make all of that go away. Aura is an amazing service that can automatically plug up the leaks in your personal information, sending requests to data brokers to remove your data. It's not just that though. Aura offers the full protection package, including a VPN, antivirus, identity theft insurance and more, all for one affordable price. Aura can keep you safe online, so you can have one less thing to worry about. You can try Aura for free for 2 weeks by using our link www.aura.com/top5s, by scanning the QR code on the screen, or by clicking the link in the description. And now, if you haven't already done so, hit those lights, sit back and enjoy. In 2018, using the name Jennifer Sybert, Kessler took a job as a hairdresser at Tangle's Hair Salon in Fernandina Beach, Florida. On May 12, 2018, 34-year-old Jolene Cummings, who worked with Kimberly at the salon, disappeared. The mother of 3 was last seen leaving the salon at 5 p.m, but the next day she failed to pick up her 3 children from her ex-husband, and her mother reported her missing. On May 18th, the police went to the Tangle salon to speak to the owner, who at the time was on the phone with Kessler and informed her the police were there and wanted to talk to her about Jolene. Kessler had just driven into the parking lot outside the salon, ready for work, but when she heard the police were there, she turned around and drove out. She later texted the owner and told her that she was leaving town and would mail the salon keys back to her. Kimberly then contacted the police and said she could not be associated with the investigation into Jolene's disappearance because her ex-boyfriend was a stalker and computer expert who would be able to track her down if her name went in the computer. Later that day, police found Jolene's car abandoned in a Home Depot parking lot. The following CCTV footage later revealed the vehicle was left there on May 13th by someone wearing black. Police followed the person's route, captured by different security cameras, and witnessed the same person buy a bottle of water at a gas station before leaving in a taxicab. They recognized the person as Jennifer Sybert, aka Kimberly Kessler.
Mary, the video showed the places detectives say Kimberly Kessler went the night Jolene Cummings was last seen. All of the locations were in the close proximity of the Tangle's hair salon. Here's a map of where Kessler was seen. Surveillance video from a ViStar Home Depot captured her driving Cummings SUV. It also shows her inside the Gate gas station before heading to the Tangle's hair salon. You can see here in this surveillance video Kimberly Kessler dropping off Jolene's SUV in the parking lot of the Home Depot in Yulee around 1:17 a.m. on May 13th. Jolene was not in the car. At 1:20 a.m., you can see Kessler walking into the Gate gas station wearing all black. You see her looking nervous, fidgeting with her shirt and pacing. She buys a bottle of water and at some point asks someone to call her a cab. The taxi driver told detectives Kessler left the Gate store and took the taxi to Tangle's. An employee at the Gate told police that they noticed significant scratches on Kessler's face according to the court documents. We are listening to recorded interviews of witnesses with detectives. We'll have that tonight at 10.
Back at Tangle's salon, A forensics team used luminol to detect massive amounts of blood residue on the walls, chairs, cabinets, and the sink, which was later confirmed as Jolene Cummings. They also recovered surveillance footage that showed on the night Jolene disappeared that Kimberly was heaving heavy trash bags into a nearby dumpster. Other chilling footage showed Kessler at Walmart purchasing 30-gallon trash bags, an electrical carving knife, cleaning gloves, and a bottle of ammonia. Before returning to the salon, Kessler threw more bulging trash bags into the same dumpster. Their contents were collected by a garbage truck and never retrieved. Kessler was their number one suspect, and on May 16th, investigators tracked her down, sleeping in her car at a rest stop in St. Johns, Nassau County. It appeared she had been living out of her car for some time. Kessler was booked into St. Johns County before being taken to Nassau County Jail and charged with grand theft auto, and held on a $500,000 bond. When Kessler was picked up, her face and hands were covered in scratches, and investigators were keen to know where she got them from. She told them she got the injuries after running into a tree branch whilst riding her bike. On May 22nd, Nassau County Sheriff gave an update on Jolene's disappearance. It's believed the information he didn't disclose was that along with the dumpster footage, Kessler's browser history on her phone showed search terms like coworker guilty of murder, missing person body not found, and the name Jolene Cummings was searched for 457 times over a period of 2 days. Other searches included Jolene Cummings, no body, no crime. In a bizarre interview later released to the public, Kessler can be seen seated on a couch wearing an orange jumpsuit, casually revealing her real identity and insisting they look her up on the computer. At first she appears friendly and matter-of-fact. Take a look at some of the interrogation footage.
To call you because I was talking to the detective that drove you up and he said I might have been calling you by the wrong name.
It's funny that St. John's didn't tell you. When you run my fingerprints through, they come up as Kimberly Lee Kessler. That's about it. So I would prefer to be called Kim.
Okay.
But
Okay, I just want to make sure that I'm calling you by your right name.
But if you run them through, I mean, the last time I got picked up was back in 1999, and I bonded out, and it took them, I don't remember, it was a couple weeks, I don't know if it was 2.5 weeks or 3.5 weeks before they actually, matched them up. Yeah, it didn't but that was 1999, so maybe it was a little bit slower then.
Okay.
But I don't know, there's lots of people on the face of the planet, so maybe it still takes time. I'm not sure.
After enough evidence was gathered, Kessler was charged with first-degree murder of Jolene. Despite several searches, including at a Georgia landfill, Jolene's body has not been found, but she is presumed dead. While awaiting trial in Nassau County, Kessler went on an extensive hunger strike. By the end of her strike, she reportedly weighed only 89 pounds. However, testimony from hospital and jail staff said that when she was not in the jail, Kessler would binge eat and drink until she was returned to jail, claiming the guards were trying to poison her food. In a series of bizarre phone calls to her mother, she appeared rational but very deluded, blaming everyone except herself. Her mother seems increasingly nervous and suspicious of her daughter's claims. Take a listen to a few snippets of those conversations.
Hello?
Hello.
I didn't get to say goodbye. It disconnected me.
I know. No, I figured you could call me anytime.
So I was just calling you until they actually forced me to hang up, but I don't really want to, make them mad. I haven't even done anything wrong, and they treat me pretty bad, so...
I wonder how... Are they going to put these calls on your bill? I wonder who's paying for these calls.
I don't know. I thought maybe you put money on there, but maybe they just do all kinds of crazy crap. Who knows? I mean, I don't know. I thought maybe it was you that put money, but so I don't know yet, but I guess I'll have to pay that too. They charge you for even getting arrested. They charge you $20 and they make you sign it. I should have refused, but I was just so in shock, you just go along with it.
So wait, what did they charge you 20 for?
20 just for getting arrested. So I got $20. I owe a little bit of money in a couple of counties just for getting arrested. just for the...
Oh, that's...
They make money. This is
Okay.
all about money. They make a lot
Oh,
of
I
money.
know. Everybody knows that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her increasingly bizarre behaviour called for psychiatric intervention. In this clip, she is almost unrecognisable at a hearing to determine if she was mentally stable.
She has been in jail since her arrest, but as On Your Side's Troy Kless learned today, her alarming weight loss also has meant that she's making nearly daily trips to the hospital.
That's Kimberly Kessler at a hearing to determine if she is mentally competent to stand trial. She left the hearing soon after. A psychologist testifying for Kessler's public defender said her mental state is unstable.
She continued to cause havoc while awaiting her murder trial in Nassau County Jail, and additional charges were added after she assaulted an officer. The officer told her to stand up and move to another cell so that hers could be sanitized. Kessler refused, stripped off, and smeared feces on herself and the cell walls that she had saved in styrofoam containers. She also flung feces at the guard. One of the officers tried to pepper spray her, but even after he administered the spray in her face, it didn't stop her throwing feces. Eventually, Kessler was tasered to allow the officers to move her to another cell. After numerous delays to determine whether Kessler was mentally competent to stand trial, it was ruled that she was. The ruling specified her refusal to cooperate is more of a question of her will rather than her capacity due to mental illness, and a date was set for August 18, 2021. The trial was eventful. Kessler tried to fire her public defender attorney, Jordan Beard, claiming he was a relative of Cummings. The judge found the claim baseless, but it did not stop Kessler disrupting court proceedings, and she was removed from court on multiple occasions.
Jordan Beard is Jolene Cummings' cousin. Jordan Beard is Jolene's cousin, and I refuse this assigned counsel.
I refuse the public defender's office. I refuse them. I have refused them. I refuse the public defender's office. They appointed Jordan Beard, Jolene Cummings' cousin, as my public defender.
Are you ready to begin today?
No.
Okay, Ms. Kessler, today appears that today will be the last day that the state will be presenting evidence, and the defense will then be afforded the opportunity to present evidence today. So I want to make sure you're aware of that. I want to stay here in court and serve your right. I want you to be able to do that.
Sure, I can stay up here and I'm going to say what I want, when I want, how I want, which you silenced me for years. You have silenced me for years. So let everyone know this is just the tip of the iceberg. Jordan Beard, public defender, is Jolene Cummings' cousin, along with his brother Josh. Yeah, you swept it under the rug for 3.5 years, along with her father, her stepdad, who runs the jail, who recently retired. He still comes in.
On the 9th of December 2021, the jury verdict was read out. Kessler was not present for the verdict.
The Circuit Court of the 4th Judicial Circuit and for Nassau County, Florida, case number 2018 CF 815, State of Florida versus Kimberly Kessler, aka Jennifer Marie Sybert. Verdict count 1, first degree murder. We, the jury, found the defendant guilty of first degree murder as charged in the indictment. We found the defendant used or attempted to use a weapon during the commission of the offense. So say we all done at Yulee, Nassau County, Florida. Found by the foreperson, number 1.
After the verdict, Jolene's mother spoke outside of court.
For everyone that's lost a child, but when you lose a child that's murdered, we're in our own classification. It's like unique as a fingerprint. Only do these people truly understand what it's like, what we go through. And there's been a couple that have reached out to me that have gone through the same thing. So for myself, for our families, and the many friends, my son, my daughter, we thank you. We thank you to the jurors. We couldn't have done this without the verdict. Thank you so much.
At her sentencing, Kessler again was removed from court, still shouting about Jordan Beard being Jolene Cummings' cousin.
Here's Jordan
In December 2021, Kessler was sentenced to life without parole.
So, in case number 2018 CF 815, on the charge of first-degree premeditated murder of Joel Cummings, this court will adjudicate Kimberly Kessler, the defendant, also known as Jennifer Marie Sybert, guilty, sentence her to life in prison without any possibility of release or parole.
After the sentencing, Sheriff Leeper happily told assembled media, "We're going to celebrate her new home for the rest of her life, which is going to be Florida State Prison."
We're going to celebrate her homegoing, because her new home for the rest of her life, and until she takes her last breath, is going to be Florida State Prison.
He finally got his wish in January 2020.
When the van first arrived here at the Sallyport at the Nassau County Detention Facility, the deputy you see there does close the door, but not before throwing up the rock-on hand gestures. And then there is this second video of the van pulling out of the Sallyport a short time later. Now, we cannot see inside the windows, but we know Kimberly Kessler has left the Nassau County Jail for the last time. And Sheriff Bill Leeper said the day of her conviction that he could not wait to get her out of his jail. That day has now finally come.
Kimberly Kessler will spend the rest of her life incarcerated. For the family of Jolene Cummings, they will likely spend the rest of their lives agonizing over where Jolene's remains are, so they can honor her with a proper burial. Only one person knows where she is, and it doesn't seem likely that she will ever give up that secret. This has been the bizarre story of Kimberly Kessler. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.